Hey everyone, Natalie Marnica here with Sacred Mountain Yoga, and I'm so stoked to be answering some of your most frequently asked questions from my social medias these days. First one being, what the heck is a steel mace? All right, so you may be seeing me swinging this thing on my socials. You may be seeing other people. It's kind of blowing up right now. And as a head coach for Steel Mace Vinyasa, I wanted to come on here and talk about what the heck is a steel mace and why do we love it? Why do we use it so much? What are the benefits? All right, so the steel mace itself is basically a modern rendition of an ancient tool that was used to train different warriors and wrestlers for battle. So it's a leverage tool. You could look up things called the gada and you look up different images, and it's been used throughout time to help warriors and people prepare for battle. In ancient times, we did not use guns or these machines or drones. They literally had to hold swords and weapons. So this has been modified for modern use, basically to be a leverage tool for us to train with and still develop our strength like a warrior. So we're working on functional movement patterns. We're working on grip strength, rotator cuff strength, mobility at the same time as strength. So we have things that are swings. You might see people block, dumping, pulling, taking your shoulder through the full ranges of motion. You might see more blocking patterns, pressing up over the head. You might be seeing people using it in things like uppercut lunges. Okay, so that's a striking pattern where you're looking towards the chin of your enemy and stepping in and blocking. Or you might be seeing it like in Steel Mace Vinyasa in loaded movements like classical warrior pose and an overhead block. Okay, so we're using this in functional movement patterns so that we're building strength and mobility from the ground up. I've personally used this tool several times over to rebuild my body from chronic pain, severe anxiety and depression. After I had my baby, I gained a lot of weight, so postpartum weight loss, toning. I had a bulging disc, I had piriformis syndrome. Every time I'm rehabbing and bringing my body back into a place of balance and strength, this is one of my favorite go-to tools, all right? So let's briefly talk about the anatomy of a mace and how to hold it. So at the heavy part at the top, it's called the globe, all right? So this is the part that swings around that we have to be cautious of. If we're not holding our mace intelligently, it can knock us, it can hurt us. It is heavy. Now this is a 10 pounds, so I don't expect anybody to start with this weight. You can always start with a smaller weight, but the anatomy is the same. Okay, so globe at the top, you have a long handle or a shaft, and then up around a quarter of the way down, you might see in some different maces, there's a little bit of like texture to the grip, and we call this the middle grip or mid grip. All right, so holding the mace, there's different positions. We'll just go through a basic few that you might see commonly used. The globe is usually stacked directly above the handle when it's in your center. You can make this easier by crawling your hands closer to the globe. You can make it more difficult by choking down on it. Either way, we're looking for our glutes, our core, and our lats on. So in Steel Mace Vinyasa, we call this the trifecta. As this mace is moving around, you have to intelligently use your grip. So once you start to find your tool of choice, you want something that's not too easy and not too hard so that you can actually wield it and build the stability. But you can do things. This is one of my favorite exercises that rehabbed my shoulders is the mace switch. Okay, so this is an external rotation at your joint. For those that are home, this is just moving the load away from your middle, but using your shoulders, packing them down, we call this shoulder pack, with my glutes and my core on to build the stability as it moves from left to right. My head is gonna follow suit. Okay, so we can switch in the front to build your posture and fully build the capacity in your rotator cuff. You can angle the mace to your shoulder, pass it back. It goes up and down through your spine, still glutes, core, and lats on. Exhale, it pulls to the other side, other arm mirrors. So this is a basic mace switch. It looks simple. But in reality, most adults and people that I train have a very difficult time keeping this 90-degree angle as it transitions, because this exercise tends to reveal what is weak and what mobility has been lost in our shoulders, okay? So I love this tool. I've trained with it several times. This October, I am hosting a level 1 seminar, the Steel Mace Vinyasa level 1 certification seminar here at the BlissOm studio in Ontario, Canada. And I'm so stoked that I'm co-leading this with the founder herself, Miss Summer Huntington. If you want to get a deep dive into this ancient tool, join the seminar October 2nd to 4th, 2026. I'm happy to see you there. If you got questions, send them to me. Bye for now.